So Carolyn has started her annual tradition of splitting the split wood into smaller pieces. You can see how small she splits them. So this is something we do every year because, you know, living in that tiny house, it just doesn't take a lot to heat it up. And you put a log in there and it will just cook you out. I mean, just cook you out. So, you know, you take these smaller pieces and you put it in there. And, you know, you light it up, what, 2 or 3 times a day. Sometimes 4 if you get really cold. So I need to clean out the stove. I haven't done that this year yet and get it all ready to go. So, but that doesn't take long. It only takes a few minutes. So, and she checks them. I mean, I kind of expected this stuff. She checks them for 20% or less moisture content. So what we're doing here is we got all this walnut I've cut over the last couple of years. Just, you know, knocking down some trees that were dead. We had that big walnut right here by the camper that was getting into the power lines. And you might remember I cut that down. So, you know, we got get quite a bit of firewood here. I just didn't get it all split. This stuff is just too small to split with a big hatchet, so I left it lay there. I kept meaning, you know, big maul I should say. I kept meaning to come back and split it up with a hatchet. So she grabbed some of this, and this stuff is about 24%. So she's gonna split this up into smaller pieces, and, you know, we'll put it underneath the bed and then put the drier pieces next to the firewood. By the time the stuff by the fire stove, the wood stove, by the time that stuff is used up, you get underneath the bed and that 2 or 3, 4% will be dry. At least it was last year. So all this was split. Of course, my stack fell down. So that is dry wood. That's running about 14%, we saw. And then I got some big logs over here that I haven't even touched yet that I need to get off the ground sooner or later. That I cut last winter, so it's coming up on a year. But I'll wait until we get all that used up before I start splitting this. I don't want to mix that up because that'll be pretty wet. And it's not hard to tell. I mean, you take a hatchet, you split it. You can smell it, the odor coming off the wood. That means it's still wet. And then when you pick it up, you'll feel the moisture on it. So the reason we're using this stuff first, even though we got all that wood over there that's been sitting there for like 5 years now, is all that is oak. And oak burns hotter than what this walnut and sycamore. So this is nice to use in the fall. In springtime, you know, I say springtime, but, you know, that transition from winter to spring, walnut and hickory is really good to use, or sycamore is really good to use because it just doesn't burn as hot. And the way they calculate it is BTUs per cord of wood. So a cord of wood is 3 pickup truck loads. And I don't remember all the numbers, but I think it's like oak is something like, don't quote me, but it's like 36 million BTUs per cord of wood. Where sycamore, I think, is like 17 million BTUs per cord of wood. So, and you can figure this out. It's actually pretty easy. You can figure out, like on your propane or your gas, you know, they charge you per BTU. At least I think that's how they charge you. Or you can figure out the BTU per, let's say they say, I don't know, a gallon of propane. You can figure out the BTUs, just go to Google and you say, okay, there's that many BTUs in 1 gallon of propane. Then you figure out how many BTUs you use when they refill your propane tank. So if you use 500 gallons and there's, you know, 10,000 BTUs per gallon, I don't know, I'm just throwing out numbers. You go 500 times. But anyway, you start doing the math and you'll see the wood, even if you bought the wood, and oak and hickory, but hickory might be pretty expensive, but oak for sure. And then you can see that the firewood is a lot cheaper. Now I know everybody says, no, you shouldn't burn firewood or walnut firewood. Well, you know, everybody wants me to make a table. They'll come and cut it down. No, they won't. I mean, you're just not going to get the kind of money out of it. You got to figure out how to. I don't think they come and get it. You got to deliver it. So I got to get a trailer and all that. And when you really think about firewood cost and what you're going to get out of a walnut tree if you sell it, you're making more money this way by burning it. Yeah, I get it. It's a pretty wood. I totally understand it. It's beautiful. But, you know, I don't really need to buy firewood. I need to be careful, or there'll be snakes. So, and we have a walnut here. And it drops nuts. We don't eat them anymore, but the first year we collected them up, I mean, we had nuts everywhere. So walnuts are really good. You know, we're carnivores. And when we had that little decorative house there, that's where the last walnut was. I cut it down on camera. Had to be careful on how we were getting the limbs out, but I cut this down, and this produced a lot of walnuts, you know. But they're everywhere on this property. We got a bunch down here. I've trimmed some of these sister trees. I'll show you a sister tree in a minute. Walnut. So it's healthier if you cut one side and leave the other side. Off the limb here. Yep. So this is a sister. But just look around the woods. We got walnut everywhere. There's a walnut right there. That's a big one. The squirrels eat the nuts pretty quickly down here in the woods. You can't hardly find them. Had a dead walnut there just last year. Believe it or not, the leaves are starting to fall off these walnuts. That's a walnut. There's a walnut there. They're just everywhere. Not hard to find. Come up here, and I know there's a big walnut that I think I'm going to take down sooner or later. Can't find it. But there was a dead walnut on the other side. I took that down on the other property. He let me have that. It was huge. It'll be pretty back here pretty soon. There, yeah, that's a walnut. Oh no, it's not. I lied to you. That is not a walnut. Not sure what that is. Ah, there. That's a huge walnut. There's a walnut. It's just everywhere. So, I mean, you know, Henry Rifles, are they going to come out and get all these walnut for me? Nah. They have farms for that. You know, walnut tree farms, I'm sure. So, I'm kind of walking through the woods today just to show you around again. Huh, wonder what that noise was. Something's snorting at me. Oh, somebody's hammering. I cut down a sister here last year. I think that was here. Ow. Thorn bushes. No, that's not it. Where is that? One that I just cut down. I'm lost. I thought it was right there. Oh, that's it right there. It's regrown a bush. So yeah, both sides are bad on that one. So I cut that down. So, you know, when we first started cutting all the firewood, we had 15 years worth of firewood. Well, we've been here, what, nearly 5 years or something like that. So, I mean, we've started to really get into our stash quite a bit. Of course, we still got all this. That's the original stuff there also. So, you know, and what did I say? I was 50, I guess, when I said that. 40 anyway. So I was going to be in my 60s by the time all the firewood would have been used up, and I think we're still on pace for that. But I want to make sure that we have enough to get through our life, but not so much that there's a ton of firewood after we die. You know, if Carolyn dies before me, it's unlikely anybody ever find me. Everybody be dead. So, and my daughter lives in Iowa, and you know, it'll be a couple years before she checks in on me. A year at least. So, what else is going on? I guess with the lawnmower, I don't know. It depends on how old I am when I die. Somebody may come by and say, "Hey, can you repair a mower?" And I'm stinking in the bed. I'm not sure what else is going on. I got rid of that walk behind brush hog thing. He came and picked it up yesterday, dropped off a push mower. So he was really happy, really happy. So it's kind of nice when you get one that it's not frowning at you when they come by. That was a nice walk. I'm out of breath, but that was a nice walk. Got stuck by thorny bushes. And oh, tomorrow I'm going to get an ultrasonic cleaner. It's going to be delivered tomorrow. So I'll play with that a little bit. I got a carburetor that I want to play around with. I tried to hand clean it, and it just didn't hand clean very well. I mean, it runs, but it surges. And I can't figure out where the surging is coming from. So I don't know if it's always surged when they bought it, or because I bought a new carburetor, it surges the same exact way. So I don't know if it's the machine that's causing the surging, which it shouldn't be. It should be the carburetor. But I don't know what's going on with it. It only does it when it's idling. When you hit the pressure, see, I traded out a pump with one that was here just to see if it was what it would do. So when because the pump's bad on this one. So a guy brought another one over just like it to have it worked on. So I just traded them out for a second so I could see if it was good. What's wrong with this one? I mean, she's already said she doesn't want it because the pump's bad. But I just don't understand what's going on with this carburetor. So I want to clean it and see if that makes it any better on the old one. This is the new one here, I should say. The one that was in my hand was the old one. But they're both doing the same exact thing, the old one and the new one. I drilled out the orifices a little bit on the new one, see if I could get it to work. It didn't work. So, what else is going on? I guess that's it. I donated this, so it's being raffled off as we speak. She's raffling it at $10 a ticket. So that's kind of fun. I don't know what she's up to right now. I know for a fact she has sold 9 of them because I've seen that on Facebook. That one person, two people said I bought 4, so that's 8. And one person said I bought 1, so that's 9. So there's $90. So I hope that works for her. It's for the community, not for an individual. There was Skitty. I don't know if you got her in the camera, but she's been much more active now it's cooled off. She's been outside 2 or 3 times a day. So I guess I'm going to jump off of here. So if you'll click the up next box to take you to a video over my other channel, it'll be a brand new video today. I really appreciate it. Go check it out. So hope I can inspire you. Take a walk in the woods so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.